Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Rabbi.
Good morning.
We are learning Mishna Kiddushin, Parak Aleph, Chapter 1, Mishnah Zay, Mishnah 7. Mishnah reads, Kol mitzvahs haben al ha'av. Literally translated, the words go, all mitzvahs of a son on a father, which really mean all mitzvahs that are all mitzvahs of a son that are incumbent upon a father to take care of. Okay? And such as a father's obligation to give his son a bris. Okay? Anoshim chayavim v'noshim p'tures. It's a responsibility upon the father, upon men, not upon women. It's the father's responsibility, not the mother's responsibility. Okay? Now, other examples of this. Now, a lot of all the things that we're going to mention in today's Mishnah all have sources in the Torah. We're not going to go through all the sources, but they're all sourced. Now, I gave one example of mitzvahs of something that a father has to do for his son, such as give him a bris milah. Other examples are pidyon haben, redeeming the firstborn son. A father is obligated to do that, not the mother. Teaching one's son Torah, teaching him a trade, marrying him off. These are all called the obligation responsibilities of a father to a son, and these are things that the men have to do, and women are exempt. Next, chol mitzvahs ha'av al haben, and all mitzvahs of the father on the son, meaning all things that a son is incumbent upon a son to do for his father, which is what we call kibbud av, honoring your father, or meira av, or having fear of your father. Just one example of having fear of your father means not to sit in his special place. He has a designated place. You don't sit there. Kibbud av, honoring your father, means to literally take care of him, give him food, drink, whatever he may need. When we talk about the mitzvahs that of a father, meaning what needs to be done for a father that are coming upon the son, there the halach is echad anoshim v'echad noshim chayavin. Both men and women are obligated. Both a father and a son have to do that, are obligated to do that. Next, kol mitzvahs aseh shazman grama. Any positive commandment that is caused by a time, it depends on a time, which means it must be performed during a certain specific time, such as blowing shofar, sitting in a sukkah. The way the Mishnah sets it out, the rule is all these kinds of mitzvahs, anoshim chayavim v'noshim p'turas. Men are obligated, women are exempt. V'chol mitzvahs aseh shelo yazman grama, and all mitzvahs that are not dependent on a time, on a specific time, anosh echad anoshim v'echad noshim chayavin. Both men and women are going to be obligated. So that the Mishnah seems to make that a hard rule, right? If it's a positive commandment that is caused by a time, men are obligated, women are not. And if it's not dependent on a specific time, then both of them are obligated. But we know there's a lot of exceptions to this. One big exception is coming up very soon. It's called matzah. Matzah is a time that's a mitzvah performed during a specific time, but we know that women are obligated. We have a special source to say that women are obligated. Meaning we have examples where we have sources that take it out of this klal. Now again, sukkah, shofar, these are time-bound mitzvahs. These are mitzvahs dependent on a specific time that women are obligated, but there are other exceptions. And then the other part of the Mishnah that says positive commandments that are not dependent on a time, both men and women are obligated. So, for instance, mezuzah is not dependent on any kind of specific time, and therefore women are obligated. Talmud Torah study, right? That is also not done during a specific time, and women don't have that mitzvah. So there are, although the Mishnah lays this out as a rule, it's an example of where we actually have another rule that says that rules of the Mishnah very often are not hard rules, in the sense of that this is the way it is all across the board. Now the Mishnah then continues. When it comes to any negative commandment, anything we're not allowed to do, anything that we're prohibited from doing, bein shazman grama, bein shelo yazman grama, whether it's done during a specific, whether its performance is dependent or done during a specific time, whether it is that way or it's not that way, meaning if it's a prohibition, it's a lav. Both men and women are obligated. So, for instance, you're not allowed to eat chametz, right? Women are not allowed to eat chametz. You can't break Shabbos. Women can't break Shabbos. But here, the Mishnah tells us 3 examples where we have an exception to a negative, to a prohibition that is not dependent on a specific time, and nonetheless, there are exceptions. Those exceptions are 3 things. Chus mibal tashchis. Bal tashchis here means cutting your beard with a razor, right? There's certain parts of your face where you cannot cut the hair there with a razor, okay? That is something that, although it is not a specific, it's not a prohibition that is fulfilled during a specific time. It's not dependent on any specific time. Nonetheless, women are absolved from that. They don't have that prohibition, rather. Ubal takif, the idea of cutting off your payas, right? Rounding your head, rounding your head, around your temples. That is something that, again, there's no prohibition for women to do that. Ubal tatami lamesim, and the fact that Kohanim have a prohibition of coming into contact, coming impure through dead bodies, that also is a prohibition for Kohanim, but not for women from the Kohanic families. And therefore, these are 3 examples. And here, it's pointed out that this last rule about the fact that women are obligated in all prohibitions that are not dependent on a specific time, except for this 3, this is a hard rule. These are exceptions, and that's it. Have a wonderful day.
All right. Thank you, Rabbi. Now those exceptions, I assume.